Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. We have the Steam Halloween sale officially running right now. They are calling it Steam Scream the Revenge. I'm gonna call it the Halloween sale. Yes, I'm gonna do it my own way. I like the Halloween sale. A bunch of other platforms and websites and all that good stuff are running Halloween sales. It's gonna be the Halloween sale, damn it. But we're gonna look at great game deals under the price of $10. There's a ton of them. We're gonna go over some in this video. Might do another video to add on to this here in a little bit. The sale's only running for a week. This is obviously one of the smaller scale sales, but to be perfectly honest, a lot of good stuff discounted. So again, deals under 5. Let's get right into it. Starting things off, we have Metro 2033 Redux and Metro Last Light Redux. Now, both of these games are $1.99 a pop. That's insane. Metro 2033 is a great game, and if you want to get into the franchise, that is where you start. Visually, still holds up fairly well, but these games are more atmospheric, narrative-driven first-person shooters. They're really, really well done. The storytelling is solid. They're not super lengthy. You can complete them in 8 to 10 hours or so, but narratively, they're strong, and the atmosphere is really where these games shine. For $1.99 each, it's really good. I do recommend that if you just want to go all in and get the entire franchise, the Metro Saga bundle gets you 2033 Last Light and Metro Exodus with the Metro Exodus Season Pass for $9.06. Essentially, you're paying like $5 and a little bit of change more, and you're getting Exodus and the Season Pass. Probably would go that route if you want to check out all 3 titles, but if you just want to check out 2033 and then make your decision from there, that's a decent option as well. Next up, here's an insane deal. Coming from Play Dead, we have Inside, 90% off at $1.99. I would also highly recommend you to check out Limbo, and if you want to check out Inside and Limbo, they've got a bundle. Both titles, 91% off for $2.68. Limbo, I believe, alone is 99 cents. So Play Dead, these titles are just super, super cheap and very much worth it at these price points. Inside is the game that I feel like doesn't get as much love as Limbo. If you look at Limbo's got less Steam user reviews, but it came out back in August of 2011. Different time there. I don't think Steam reviews were even implemented then. Inside has an overwhelmingly positive reception with 47,000 reviews, and 96% of those reviews are positive. If you know Playdead, you know their games are incredible. Once again, incredible atmosphere. The design, the art direction of these games are so well done. Sound design is excellent. You've got some puzzles that, I'm not crazy about puzzle-based gameplay, but it's fine. You're really going into these games for the ambiance and the setting, and they just crush it from that standpoint. Really curious to see what Playdead is working on right now. They've been quiet for a long time, but they kind of come out, release a game every, 6 or 7 years, and then go, and do their own thing. They're probably working on another game, but we just haven't heard much about it. I believe they just put out some art pieces, and that's it. But yeah, for now, Limbo Inside, 99 cents, $1.99 bundle for $2 and change is ridiculous all around. Next up, we have Hellblade Senua Sacrafice coming from Ninja Theory, the guys that have done the Enslaved Odyssey to the West little game that I constantly talk about, DMC Devil May Cry. They are working on a sequel to this game in Hellblade 2. And this game, Hellblade Senua Sacrafice, I remember when I initially saw footage of this game, and I was not sold at all. The gameplay looked clunky, and I was just like, man, this does not look great. And then Hellblade Senua Sacrafice came out, and boy, oh boy, did they absolutely crush it. This game, once again, the tone and the setting is so well done. It is an incredibly psychological and mind-bending kind of game, and you kind of go through this trauma of Senua. It's a very, very interesting and well-done game. It's a shorter game, just keep that in mind. It was a budget title when it initially came out. It was like $30. Hellblade 2 looks like it's going to be a full big budget title, but this game from a technical standpoint visually looks incredible. Even, 6 plus years later, it looks fantastic. $4.49, great price. It does have a VR edition. You can check that out if you're interested. Next up, we have Oxenfree from Night School Studio, 50% off for $4.99. This game just had a sequel released, and it looks like after the sequel came out, they actually upped the sale price of Oxenfree, which, it's a narrative-driven game, and again, done by Night School Studio, and this was the studio's debut title, but the studio is actually composed of a lot of developers that worked on the Telltale titles, and once again, this being a very choice-driven, narrative-driven game, really does hit home in that regard. I love the art style. I love the character interaction. I thought the writing was good. A fairly witty game. It does go a little bit off the deep end with the supernatural aspects to it, but I thought it was a really well done game and doesn't get enough love. And for the mystery, spooky factor of the timing, I think it works out pretty well. And then you can check out Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals, which just came out back in July. Not a deep discount on that. It's 25% off for 15 bucks, but definitely check out the first game. That is a pretty good deal. Next up, we have Murdered Soul Suspect. Want to give this game a shout. 90% off for $1.99. Now, this came out back in 2014, and I remember when it initially came out, something possessed me to drop full price on this game. I have no idea why, and I ended up thinking that the game was okay. Was it worth $50? Absolutely not, but I thought for a detective game, the setting and the storytelling in the game was pretty interesting, and if you want more of a mystery-style game, Murdered Soul Suspect will give you something interesting. I think the visuals are pretty decent. I mean, it's almost a decade old at this point, so don't expect something crazy. Not a super lengthy game, but for $1.99, I think this is a fairly good pickup and would give it a shout. Next up, given that we're coming up on the release of Alan Wake 2, I feel like I should give a shout to Alan Wake 1. For those of you that need to play Alan Wake 1, it's 75% off for $3.74. Now, this includes the bonus DLC content as well. Now, also, this is Alan Wake. This is not Alan Wake Remastered. That is an Epic Game Store exclusive. Alan Wake 2, also an Epic Game Store exclusive. So if that's a big deal to you, you know, keep that in mind. I thought Alan Wake was a really solid PC version. The visuals obviously show their age, being that this is a game that's 13 and a half years old for the original 360 release, but Alan Wake is a really, really enjoyable game with great storytelling. The gameplay, it has the interesting flashlight mechanic, and as a third-person title, it's a fine and well-made game. You're really, again, going into this game for the narrative and the setting. I think those elements are done really well. $3.74, though, is solid. Not a super lengthy game either, even with the DLC content. You're not gonna, you know, spend more than 12, 13 hours with the game, so keep that in mind as well. Next up, we have Dead Space 2, 80% off for $3.99. Also want to give a shout to Dead Space 3. I know that's like the black sheep of the Dead Space series, but that's 80% off for $3.99 as well. Dead Space 2, who knows if this game is going to get a remake or some sort after the success of the Dead Space remake, but even if it does, that probably won't be out for a while. I thought Dead Space 2 was awesome, and I liked it even more than Dead Space 1. Dead Space 2, I just thought, really clicked for me. I did kind of go into it more as an action-y game. I feel like, you know, Dead Space kind of... you played Dead Space 1, so a lot of those horror aspects kind of stuck with you, and in Dead Space 2, okay, the horror elements and the scary element didn't really click with me as much, but from a gameplay standpoint, I thought Dead Space 2 was awesome. Shows its age, obviously not going to be the visual masterclass that the Dead Space remake is, but still a worthwhile game to go through for sure, even with the original release. With that being said, like, if there's a remake that's coming out. Dead Space 3, obviously, this is the game that kind of did Dead Space dirty, added cooperative play, which was interesting, but overall, this is by far the weakest Dead Space game. Certainly changed the tone and the direction of Dead Space as a franchise. Is it a fun game to go through? Sure, and for $3.99, I think it's an okay pickup, but certainly play Dead Space 1 and 2 first. Next up, Mirror's Edge is 85% off for $2.99. This is the original 2008 game, or on PC, it was actually 2009. I'll give a shout out to Mirror's Edge Catalyst as well. That's 85% off for $2.99, and I think that's a great deal. First of all, Mirror's Edge 08, that's a game that was criminally underrated when it initially came out, and I understand why it was criminally underrated. In that time period of fall of 2008, a game like this was not going to resonate with the market. Just like retrospectively, hindsight being 2020, it was a different time in gaming, and a shorter game that was parkour based, a new IP, $60, not super lengthy. You know, people are going for pacifist runs and everything like that when these action heavy games are coming out. I see why this game didn't click at a commercial level, but if you played the game, you really enjoyed its incredibly unique gameplay, the parkour gameplay, a lot of people going for different styles of run. It's a really well done game, and for $3, if you've never played it, I definitely give it a recommendation. And this is a game that at some point I need to go back and do another playthrough of, because I absolutely loved it, and I played it, you know, like a few weeks, I want to say, after it initially came out on 360, and had a great time with it. And Mirror's Edge Catalyst was a game that, you know, most people are going to view as a little bit of a disappointment. 8 years after the release of the original, you finally got another Mirror's Edge game. It took the game in different directions, but visually the game looked great. The parkour gameplay was still solid. Some of the design aspect and, you know, level design and things like that I wasn't crazy about, but overall, for $3, this is still a worthwhile game to pick up, especially if you liked Mirror's Edge 08. You should still definitely play Catalyst, and I think most of you guys would be pleasantly surprised by it, even past the negative criticism critical reception at this point, and that it's just that critical reception because the game's user reviews, 10,000 reviews, 83% positive. That's not bad whatsoever, and it's got a 74 on Metacritic. That's not even a bad score, but I think most people prefer the original. And finally, to cap the video off, why not give a shout out to a Resident Evil game, a standard bearer for horror games in general, and we're gonna go Resident Evil 5, 75% off for $4.99. The remakes and everything like that gonna be above the $5 threshold. Yes, Resident Evil 5 is most assuredly getting a remake based on Resident Evil 4 remake success and RE2 remake success, but you know, with the remakes coming out these days, I kind of like to go back and play the original games. I didn't do that for RE4, which I'm kind of kicking myself for not doing that in terms of playing the original right before the remake comes out. I want to do that going forward with all these remakes coming out, so you have a direct comparison point, and I feel like you can appreciate a remake even more than that. Resident Evil 5 was a good game. Obviously, the big point of contention for this is, like, the AI is pretty bad, and playing the game in cooperative play was absolutely ideal, but it's still a quality Resident Evil game, a little bit action-heavy on that side, but very much worthwhile to go through, and for $4.99, great deal. If you do want to pick up the Gold Edition, that's 75% off for $7.49, so go check that out if you're interested. But that is going to do it for me for this video. The Steam Scream sale, or the Halloween sale as we're going to call it, is pretty damn good. A lot of great deals, and this is just under $5, and this isn't even scratching the surface of all of the games that are available. I saw a lot of quality stuff that is available, and this sale's a lot bigger than I had initially expected it to be, so expect a lot of coverage from me, but that's going to do it for me in this video. Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comments section, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.